Imagine a skyline built to project power, wealth, security, gleaming towers of glass and steel, expensive real estate, governmental prestige. Deep in the night, unmanned aerial machines breach airspace, slipping past radar or defenses, delivering damage not with the thunder of missiles but with the haunting precision of drones. The Moscow City Towers, valued at around $1.2 billion, are hit. Glass shatters, facades are scarred. Symbolic strength meets its vulnerability. One can't help but wonder, how did something so carefully built, so proudly displayed, become a target of such dramatic exposure? Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Conflict News channel. Please subscribe my channel. The towers believed to house high-profile government ministries, digital development, trade, industry, are more than just buildings. They are statements, crafted to broadcast power. When those statements are struck, it matters. The exterior damage from this drone strike is more than cosmetic. Glass curtain walls, reflective panels meant to mirror strength, now display holes, shattered frames, scorch marks. Windows blown outward, framing bent or missing, the mirrored surfaces cracked. From the outside one sees jagged edges of broken glass, the inward-leaning frames, debris scattered, pieces of what once seemed invulnerable now strewn on sidewalks and plazas. The damage reveals structural extremities. Seams where the facade meets the frame, where glass meets sealant, those joints, those small supports that look decorative, are now torn or missing. The glare of the night lights off broken glass, trailing gleam in the darkness, a stark contrast between polished wealth and raw destruction. One wonders how deep the damage goes. Does the external aluminum cladding hold up? Are the steel supports twisted? Does water seep through during rain? Is the insulation compromised behind the shattered facade? From the outside the building presents scars, but also questions about what lies beneath, what systems the outside hides. Inside, the story is far more complex, more human, more at the intersection of infrastructure, business, security, grief, and recovery. Office floors that once housed cubicles, plush meeting rooms, panoramic views, conference suites where policy and strategy were plotted face the fallout. On impacted levels, furniture sits askew, shards of glass embedded in floor tiles, carpets stained with dirt and dust, possibly moisture from breached windows. Ceiling panels hang loose, lighting fixtures swing, the hum of HVAC interrupted by damaged ductwork or bent frame where glass and framing once sealed against the elements. Evacuation corridors perhaps scorched or dust-filled, fire sprinklers triggered by shock or heat, water trickling down walls where sealants failed. The flooring, which may have been polished marble or high-end tile near windows, now littered with broken materials. Offices facing the external wall bear the brunt, desks near windows destroyed, computers, sensitive equipment perhaps harmed by glass shards, sooty residue, smoke, sudden loss of power or surge if electrical conduits run near the breach. Documents, files, paper materials possibly scattered, damp, exposed to open air. Inner rooms, boardrooms, secure communication bays, may have had windows blown in, partial exposure, compromised envelopes, drafts where there should be insulation. Then upstairs, executive suites, control rooms, server racks. Even if not directly damaged, environmental controls, air conditioning, ventilation, are disrupted. If windows are open or broken, temperature control fails. Dust, smoke, particulate intrusion can degrade electronics. Server rooms often have filtered air, positive pressure, but if external facade fails, pressure differentials may reverse or be lost, allowing harmful particles in. Fire protection systems kick in, alarms, sprinklers, but are they fully effective? Are sprinkler heads knocked out by blast, or plumbing compromised? Does water reach all zones? Are emergency power supplies intact, or did the shock of impact lead to circuit failures? Did the power backup architecture isolate damaged zones or shut down globally? Elevators adjacent to the impact area may have their shafts compromised, elevator doors warped, safety interlocks triggered, movement halted. Stairwells may be used instead, but do they connect safely? Are exits clear, or is debris blocking passages? Lighting may default to emergency backup, casting flickering shadows through the chaos. Those inside experience more than physical damage: fear, confusion, uncertainty. Glass smashing, alarm bells, the smell of dust, smoke, metal. The adrenaline of evacuating through corridors, finding safe zones, helping colleagues. The disruption of workflow, loss of data, inability to access offices. People removed from their desks, told to work remotely, perhaps temporarily displaced. Utilities. Water, power, internet connectivity may falter in impacted floors. HVAC may shut down in sections to avoid smoke spread, heating or cooling compromised. Security systems, access control, surveillance cameras, may lose functionality in breached areas. Interior walls near impact could be cracked, gypsum board crumbled, wall paint scorched, decoration ruined. Floor-to-ceiling windows once offering breathtaking views now offer exposure to cold, weather, and risk. Curtains, blinds, furniture furnishing torn or destroyed. Office artwork, decorative panels, pictures, carpets, all vulnerable. The interior cleanup is not only restoration of materials but restoration of confidence. Staff need reassurance that their workspace is safe, that windows have been properly replaced, the structural elements inspected, the environment free from toxins, glass shards, mildew from water intrusion if any. Restoration teams must bring in replacement glazing matching the reflectivity, insulation, tint of the rest of the tower so that the visual integrity remains. Matching panels of facade. Removing and disposing of hazardous glass safely. Repainting, reinstalling ceiling panels. Testing electrical systems. Certifying elevators. Validating security systems. Cleaning ducts. Replacing sealants. Ensuring weatherproofing, sealing leaks. Meanwhile, legal, insurance, safety inspections are required. Government tenants whose operations were disrupted must find contingency locations or accept remote working. Documents must be protected or restored. The emotional toll on people seeing damaged symbols, the interrupted sense of safety, the need to feel protected once more. The performance of the drone attack is notable. The drones managed to evade detection or to penetrate whatever early warning networks and air defense systems exist around Moscow City. They achieved sufficient explosive or kinetic effect to shatter glass facades, to blow out windows, to leave scorch marks, to intimidate. They did not, by reports, collapse the towers. They did not bring down structural supports. They did not destroy load-bearing elements. But they achieved their purpose: visibility, disruption, demonstration. On the defenders' side, response was mixed or perhaps delayed. Air defenses may have detected some threats, may have scrambled countermeasures, may have used electronic warfare or jamming. Some drones may have been shot down or destroyed before reaching certain targets, others may have been diverted or forced to crash. But enough got through to hit symbolic targets. The speed, timing and route planning likely optimized for low altitude, small cross-section, quiet approach. Possibly using pre-planned paths with minimal radar exposure. Payloads calibrated to damage facades without causing collapse, perhaps smaller explosives or incendiary charges rather than large warheads. Collateral damage seems limited, civilian casualties reportedly minimal, injuries few. Material damage more visible than lethal. Symbolism more potent than destruction. As a performance, the attack shows both Ukrainian drone capability and precision, stealth, planning, and the challenges Russia faces in protecting high-value symbolic infrastructure. Safety features of the towers are likely many. Modern construction, structural redundancy, fire suppression systems, security protocols, surveillance, emergency power, robust facades built to withstand weather and standard risks. But this event makes clear areas for improvement. The glazing may not have been blast-resistant, window sealants and joints may lack overpressure resilience. Air defense systems may have blind zones or lack optimized systems for small UAV threats. Interior utility lines, wiring, HVAC ducts running near facade may need additional protection. Emergency egress paths may need review. The redundancy of communication, data backup, remote work readiness is critical. Safety features like fire doors, smoke detectors, automatic sprinkler systems, emergency lighting seem to have functioned at least partially, but their efficacy under drone impact becomes a matter of degree. Do CCTV systems survive impacts? Do power backups engage seamlessly? Are evacuation routes clear of falling glass or debris? Are interior finishes combustible or safe? Are servers in protected cages or locations? The psychological safety of occupants is crucial. Training, drills, awareness, a culture of readiness help reduce panic and improve response when damage occurs. The maintenance of safety systems, the investment in upgraded materials, blast-proof glazing, reinforced facade panels, hardened or protected service shafts, are part of what must follow to reduce vulnerability. These towers are unique in their prestige, in their design, in their location, and in what they represent. They are architectural marvels. They house ministries central to trade, industry, digital development. They are more than structures, they are symbols. Their mirrored facades reflect the wealth and aspirations of a nation. Their height, their sleekness, their visibility, their access to infrastructure, communication, transport, all these make them flagship properties. Their value lies not only in construction cost but in rental income, governmental usage, symbolic importance. Their presence commands attention. That same uniqueness, however, becomes liability in wartime. What sets them apart? Visibility, symbolism, grandeur, makes them targets. The curtain walls that glow in daylight are exposed at night. Their glass walls offer views out, and flimsy protection inward. Their design prioritizes aesthetics and prestige perhaps over blast resistance or hardened facades. Their high-profile occupants multiply risk. When you house ministries, you invite scrutiny, threat. Unique selling perhaps of power to display, but equally unique exposure. Price. $1.2 billion is the headline. That encompasses land, design, structural engineering, facade systems, interior fit-outs, amenities, high-end finishes, services, infrastructure. That is the investment Russia made. Now, post-attack, the cost of damage repair will be substantial. Replacing broken glass, sealing, repairing frames, cleaning scorch marks, debris removal, interior damage to offices, furniture, equipment, electrical and HVAC systems. The insurance costs, the loss of function for ministries, the cost of evacuation or remote work, lost productivity, psychological cost. These costs run in millions, the exact figure undisclosed so far but likely tens of millions. Value versus risk. The amount invested per square meter is high. The value that accrues from prestige, international impression, government administrative functionality is high. But risk premium must be considered. Risk of drone strikes, of symbolic attacks. Maintaining and upgrading safety and protective features is itself expensive. Blast-resistant glazing, reinforced facade supports, drone detection networks, hardened window etc. Trade-offs. Aesthetic and architectural openness versus defense. Cost of repair versus cost of prevention. Cost of operations versus cost of insurance and risk mitigation. At the end, one sees this episode as more than a one-time attack. The conclusion is that no building, no symbol, no power structure is immune. The Moscow city towers remain standing, but their invincibility is called into question. The event forces reflection on the nature of security in modern conflict, on how architecture of prestige must be balanced with resilience. It forces states to ask, what is the cost of visibility? What is the cost of symbol? What is the cost of maintaining everything else except sufficient defensive capacity? For Ukraine, the strike is psychological victory, evidence of capability, reach. For Russia, a warning that even inner sanctums are vulnerable, that defenses must adjust. Repair will come. Glass replaced, facades restored, operations resumed. But the memory of broken glass, shattered windows, exposed interiors will linger. The symbolic wound may heal slower than the physical one. Thank you for listening to this deep look. Please like, share, comment how you see this event changing the balance of symbolic architecture and vulnerability in modern warfare, and subscribe to Global Conflict News.